Ladies and gentlemen, President Trump defeats Biden in swing states. This is the latest poll. Now, you have CNBC. Trump and Biden are locked in six key 2020 election states. CNBC Change Research finds. Now, this is April 22nd. We know that Hillary Clinton is going to be nominee. To defeat anyone in a swing state, you need voter turnout. I stated, and NPR quoted me, I said that Clinton would lose swing states in 2016. She did. 538 said that Trump wouldn't even be GOP nominee. Now, Hillary Clinton's going to be nominee in 2020 because she has a different strategy this year. This year it's wait, let them come begging. Once Biden, once the actual criminal, active, ongoing police investigation in D.C. continues or finds further evidence, or continues pertaining to what the allegations that he is faced with. Because I did a segment on that. Everyone's like, no. But it's whether he says something outlandish, or whether the D.C. police investigation heats up, or it just Burisma. He has more skeletons than a cemetery, Biden. So if during the height of this crisis, the biggest healthcare crisis in America, well, one of the biggest, if not after 1918, this is the biggest one. He's still tied with Biden in swing states. You know that they're not going to go with Biden, especially if he could tank his own campaign. By the way, please subscribe right now, ladies and gentlemen. Please subscribe right now. The link is below in the description and in the pinned comment. It is Bizarro World Goodman. It is like a satirical comedy channel where I dress up in different disguises or costumes, and I am your worst nightmare in terms of the liberal in your life, or the progressive in your life, or the left-leaning person in your life that judges and demeans and condemns you and says that they'll never talk to you again for voting for President Trump. I will be yelling and screeching in different disguises. You will love it. You will love it. And it'll be a catharsis to watch. So you will enjoy it. I mean, it will be, and I'm not going to even deviate from the mainstream narrative about President Trump. I'll just be yelling at the top of my lungs and pretending that I'm completely unhinged. Kind of like the person that you know that probably either has told you he or she will never speak to you again because you voted for Trump, or that you're on the wrong side of history, or that you're immoral and all that stuff. So subscribe and tell your friends. I'm just waiting for the costumes and the disguises to arrive, and I want to start when it gets to 3,000 subs. So because I want those. There are segments that are hopefully going to go they're going to go viral. Hopefully, so it's a comedy channel. You'll love it. H.A. Goodman. I have H.A. Goodman's other channel. I have this channel, H.A. Goodman's other channel, and then I have a new channel that I'm launching. It used to be I tried to launch a sports channel, but we don't have any sports anymore. So, but I'm approaching 2,000 subs now. Let's get it to 3,000, and I will go ahead and then start. Subscribe, ladies and gentlemen, please. It is below in the pinned comment and the description, the link. Share it everywhere. Tell your friends. They are locked right now in a head-to-head matchup. Biden is not going to defeat President Trump. I hope that I'm wrong about my prediction, which is now going to be a prophecy. Hillary Clinton is the only person who gives them a chance this year. You might think that's absurd, but that's not absurd. The absurd notion is that they wouldn't have a trick up their sleeve. Don't assume, ladies and gentlemen, do not assume that because you see Biden as the presumptive nominee, that there's no way he wouldn't be the presumptive nominee, that Democrats would revolt if they felt that they were being cheated out of Biden. They would relish and welcome and be thankful if they could do away with Biden politically and get Hillary Clinton. Clinton has a base of support. Just because you don't like her, if you're watching this channel, if you're conservative or progressive or independent or a Trump supporter, generally you're going to be a Trump supporter if you watch this channel. You might be a progressive who sees the light about the Democratic Party. You're very likely also going to be an independent if you watch this channel, or a conservative that really likes Trump. But you have to understand something. You haven't been a lifelong Democrat. I have. I know the way that Democrats work. And if in Arizona, Florida, Michigan, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, they're neck and neck, head to head. I mean, Trump edges Biden by a 48 to 47% margin. President Trump defeats Biden and I should have started with this. So 48 to 47% margin. 48 to 47% margin in Arizona, Florida, Michigan, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. Her path to victory is Pennsylvania, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. You keep everything the same if she wins Maine, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Iowa. Iowa and Pennsylvania will be key. It's 269-269. It's a tie, and the House of Representatives, run by Democrats, could then give her the election, because a tie in the Electoral College, the House of Representatives, is the tiebreaker. So I'm telling you, their goal is to just get it into a tie. That's why they want mail-in. That's why they want everything mailed in, so they can ballot harvest, and they could just say, gosh, we have some, what happened? In Broward County, there were boxes full of ballots just lying around. They just want the ability to physically hold the votes. You're talking about a political machine that cheated their own candidate in 2016, then blamed Russia. So then why on earth would we trust them with only mail-in absentee ballots? I mean, you look at when it was what was it, Rick Scott versus Ron DeSantis versus Gillum, and then Rick Scott versus look at the way in which Florida and Broward County in Florida handled the voting, where it came last second and you had ballots just lying around. Now they just want let's just see, Broward County. I want to see, hold on. There were ballot boxes. Let's just see. Miami. No, those ballot. See, this is the problem. No, those ballot boxes in Broward don't contain votes. Well, then why were there even ballot boxes anywhere? Uncounted. Then you have the New York Times. Uncounted ballots overvoted ballots. So you. Uncounted ballots, overvoted ballots. Why is the governor claiming fraud in Florida's election? Ask Tim Canova, who was a progressive. He went up against Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Box left at Broward polling, and then they're so proud of it. Box left at Broward polling didn't contain ballots. Election official says. Election official says. Why were there boxes? So, look. It is always Democrats, if you notice, when they fact-check Trump, they'll always start, well, it's true that this, but... And that's how they get away with everything. They're like, well, it's true that there were ballot boxes lying just, for no reason, idly by. But when an election official says there were no ballots in them, well, then why were they... Aren't they supposed to be, in a locked storage facility in Broward County? Why are they just lying around? So, it's just interesting. It's really interesting. Democrats are going to cheat like they do, like they cheat their own candidates. They're going to have operatives like they did trying to foment violence in Trump rallies. They're going to have, which is why H.A. Goodman's Bizarro World Goodman. Bizarro World Goodman. You're going to love that channel. Because I'm going to actually repeat everything they say. And they're not going to think it's absurd and nuts. But the way I'm going to regurgitate it in a theatrical manner, you will absolutely love. And it'll be hilarious. And it will expose the... Ironically, it'll be so absurd that it'll expose their absurdity. But anyway, so subscribe to Bizarro World Goodman. But if President Trump is defeating already, Trump edges Biden by 48% to 47% margin in Arizona, Florida, Michigan, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. Okay. This is right during the height, almost, we've maybe passed the height of the crisis. The height of a healthcare crisis we haven't seen. Because we gave the keys to the economy to Dr. Fauci and others. Of course, the Democrats didn't give the keys to their Democratic primary to the experts. Notice how you will never in a million years, ever, you will never in a million years hear that that the Democrats experts say Democrats should shut down their primary. You'll never hear that. Experts say that Florida, Illinois, Arizona, and Wisconsin should shut down their primary. Do you want to know if those 4 states didn't vote, there wouldn't be unity around Biden, and they would have had to wait, and they would have had to find some other way to get Clinton in there. Hillary Clinton's going to be nominee. She's the only person that gives them a chance. She has the money to at least fight in swing states. Biden has no money, and he's already losing now. That's another important point. 12 minutes in, Biden has no money. He got a big haul for 1 month. So what? Nobody takes Biden seriously. He's a placeholder. He has a role to play. And the role to play is the following. He is only there to rally and unify Democrats. They're taking Bernie off the ballot in New York. So there's absolutely no way that he could ever be a thorn in Clinton's side again. Don't you think they know their political machine better than you do? Don't you think, they're not going... If I'm wrong, then President Trump defeats Biden in an epic landslide where Biden and Democrats don't even get the popular vote, and it tanks them in Congress also. That's fantastic. Democratic Party is the most insidious, vile political organization on the planet. One of the most, if not the most. When you consider the foreign policy aspect, then yeah. But Trump edges Biden 48% to 47% in Arizona, Florida, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and North Carolina. And this is after already taking a hit in polling President Trump. And you think they're going to go with Biden? Do you think look, the Democrats would have to be these naive, idealistic fools, which they're not. They might be the latter, but they're not naive and idealistic. That's the progressive and left-leaning base that gets cheated all the time, and then thinks they're awesome on social media. They're not going to. They have a trick up their sleeve. This is an illusion. When you see David Blaine doing those illusions, those tricks, he's looking at you, and suddenly you don't have your watch, and suddenly the card is located inside the grapefruit. And you're like, oh my God, how did he do this? How did David Blaine do this? How did that card get into the grapefruit? Well, that's because whatever. It's an illusion. David Blaine is awesome. He's an American illusionist. He's not an actual wizard or magician. He's not like an actual warlock or, ethereal being. He doesn't have superpowers. He's an illusionist. He's awesome, by the way. Check him out. I'm sure you know who he is. David Blaine. He's great. But magic is fantastic. Love magic. But there's always, these people are human. The Democratic Party is engaging in an illusion, not one that's enjoyable. So when David Blaine and others, when Houdini, the greatest of all time, when he would get out of all different impossible contraptions, and he knew how to get out. Okay, it was a show. When Democrats cheated Bernie Sanders, they knew how to get out. They just blamed Russia because they got loyalists in the intelligence community to do so. Now William Barr is like, yeah, it's a travesty. Trump was set up and framed. We all know this. And then Democrats feign outrage. Oh my God, Russ set up and framed. Oh my God, no. Then you have the New York Times running an article saying Trump, head of government. Trump, the head of government, has an anti-government message. The New York Times, lovers of the intelligence community, has an anti-Justice Department message. The New York Times champions the intelligence community, so does the Washington Post, and all of them. But then they don't like the Justice Department. So it's hilarious. They pick and choose, and they attach themselves to the levers of government that facilitate their quest for political influence. That's it. And then when they have no need for just case in point, when Kavanaugh was being confirmed, and it was like, oh, believe, they had the FBI. They wanted the FBI to take the hot tub time machine, go back in time in the 80s, and find something. There was no evidence, no time, no place, no time, no place, no literally no time and no place. There was no date. Tara Reid with Biden has a date, a time, specific. This wasn't just, clothes were on. No, this is this is exactly what they obsess over. See, the mythology is that they obsess over what Trump said in the hot mic. Biden actually did it. And there's a criminal complaint to where the person accusing Biden could risk prison time but she's ready to just give the complaint, and she already did, and she's ready to risk anything because she knows it's true. Those people are like, oh yeah, Trump has a pattern of behavior. Well, where was the pattern before he ran for president? The Nation wrote, Trump has a pattern of behavior. Where was the pattern? I want to know where the pattern was before. And don't bring up Stormy. That was a business transaction. So that was not an example of any misconduct in that sense. So where was the pattern? Because the pattern with Biden is consistently massaging and kissing and all that stuff. And aside from unwarranted advances, Biden has no pattern. That's what the New York Times said. Aside from this, that, there's no pattern. Then they move the goalpost, by the way. The whole pattern thing is they move in the goalpost because they realize, oh my God, we're hypocrites. What can we do? Well, there's no pattern. Well, there's no pattern for Trump either. They gave him like $250 million NBC for 11 seasons on The Apprentice. If he had this pattern of behavior where he was this predator, they wouldn't want him as the face of one of their top, running shows. When he became president, suddenly he was a bigot, racist, worked for a Russian operative, and he was a predator. All at once, by the way. He had been in the limelight. He was on Jimmy Kimmel. He was on Colbert. Okay? He was on so they wouldn't have, and then the Nation had the audacity to compare him to other people who literally were in prison. And if you look at Biden, criminal complaint. Trump never had one. And you look at Bill Clinton, settled out of court with a couple of his accusers. One or two of his accusers. I know definitely of one. Go to the Wikipedia page of allegations against, and there's the ultimate allegation against Bill Clinton also. So you have court cases that are linked to Bill Clinton and to Joe Biden. You do not have court cases linked to any allegation pertaining to President Trump. And all those allegations took place, or the majority, I should say. I'm pretty sure all, but around the time he decided to run for president. Give me your thoughts below. Please subscribe to Bizarro World Goodman right this second. It's below in the pinned comment and description. I'm trying to build it. It'll be another flagship H.A. Badman channel. You will love it. And it'll be, you know how I'm kind of inadvertently amusing on this channel, and perhaps even more so on H.A. Goodman's other channel, because I'm a little bit more myself. This will be a side of me that it'll, let's put it this way, it'll be therapy for Trump voters. Therapy for progressives who don't like the Democratic Party, or independents, especially independents who can't stand the Democratic Party. It'll be therapy for people who've had enough. It'll be therapy for people, especially supporters of President Trump, who have to deal with fanatical zealots on the left. Give me your thoughts below. Subscribe right this second. Right this second to Bizarro World Goodman. That's below in the pinned comment and description. Thank you.